How'd you do that?
The front trigger.
Uh-huh.
And then okay. And then the other 10 buttons are inactive right now. And the POV, point of view, is what's going to control the neck.
Oh. Huh.
Okay? So you can do it all with one hand.
I'm not in any danger of anything, am I? Okay.
No, I set the limit so you won't go near the limit.
Oh, cool.
Okay. The only limit you go close to is the neck when it comes all the way up.
Oh, okay.
All right, but it's fine. You don't even go 2/3 down on the neck. So, and all the other ones are between 15 and 85%. So you got 15% on each
I
end.
wish there's a little better control over the, you know.
Over the what? The neck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just strictly a joystick thing,
Well,
right?
what I could do, right, what I could do, if you think it'd be more appropriate, is use the velocity slider on the bottom.
Yeah, that might be cool.
Okay, because then you'd be able to do gradual.
More analog.
Right now, that you've got 8 positions.
Oh, 8 positions? Really?
Yeah, you act well, but really, because you got the down and the up, you have 4. You follow me?
Oh. I only really see it doing one thing. It's almost like a binary kind of.
Watch. Here we go. So we're going down. Now we're coming up a little bit. Up a little bit.
I see.
Up a little bit.
So you gotta go down all the way and then come back.
Well, no, you can take it anywhere, but if you don't have the perspective, then you think it's really only doing 1 or 2 things. But it is doing 4 or 5. 3 intermediate plus the 2 extremes is 5. Yeah. That got programmed tonight at about 5 o'clock.
Gotta get the eyes blinking sometime too.
Well, yeah, but then you'd lose the stare contest.
It's all about trade-offs.
Yeah. So we're running in a burn-in mode, and we're testing all 5 servos, but we're not, burn, exercise, except for the jaw. The jaw moves every time. So between half open, closed, and all the way open. And then each motor goes through its full cycle that we're going to take it through. We're not taking anything to the limits. We're generally going from 15% to 85%. So we got a 15% buffer on each end. All right, you want the smoother mode? And all of that's controllable, obviously. I'm concerned, while this meets the current need, this is the prototype for the bigger animals. And if we're going to have a large camel with a 100-pound or 50-pound neck and a head that we have to, support and move, we're not going to be using, this kind of an arrangement, in my opinion, with servos and springs. So I was thinking more actuators, like we have in the motion platform. And Dave reminded me again that, hey Tom, there's a lot of, you could do a lot with a motor in a power window in a car. He says, you'd be surprised how strong they are. You'd be surprised how inexpensive they are, $40-50 compared to an actuator. We paid $800 for those, but that was because we needed a lot of power. I'm thinking for the actuators I have in mind are the little guys that I bought for 125, which already have the pots built in and all those kinds of things. So he's saying that the motors for the power windows, like 45 to 50 bucks, depending on which kind you get. You get a Jaguar window motor, might be a little more, but you get the idea. The other thing is, one of the reasons why I want that approach is because you lose power, it stays. It stays where you put it. It doesn't mean you can't force it. Certainly it could, but you could. But those things will stay where where you left them. Instead of sitting here and humming and all of that. Now this hum isn't bad. It's a lot less than it used to be. But one of my key questions was, is that going to shorten the life of the motor, the servo motor? And he says, well, it depends on what kind of hum you have. And as we talked about it more, he didn't think it would. And because I'm not driving anything near the limits, we're going from 15% to 85%. When you have a span of 100. So we got a 15% edge on both ends, and so we're not stressing out the motors. They're not under. These things are rated for a lot more weight than they're being put under. He says, no, it's a proximity hum. You're getting close, and you're just not finishing the job, and it's humming because it recognizes it's not there. Okay. So, but where we're coming from also is that this is part of a show, and if you've got 60 motors out there humming, that's a lot of hum. So if we figure 11 animals, 11 creatures, and 5 motions each on average, that's 55. So it adds up in a hurry. So I'm definitely aware of and trying to reduce hum and all the other and noise and everything else. So good conversation with Dave. He definitely wants to stay involved. He's reading all the stuff that we send him. Last meeting we discussed the option of having this one upgraded, or having a pneumacaw bill.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So we chose to just have the upgrade done. So John did a really good job for us with low budget. He swapped out, gave us credit financially for the motors that were in it, and beefed up some of the motors. Before we had 5 of these small motors, and now 2 of them have been replaced. This guy here is about double the size. I don't know the part number because I'd have to disassemble to read the face on it. And then you see the big one down here, and this guy's at least 4 times the power. Okay. Now, the requirements I sent to John was mostly verbal. It's like, John, when we lose power, we don't want it to just sag. Okay. So what he did there was he changed the frame, and he added the 2 springs. So when its neck is down, when you lose power, it'll just come right back up. Okay. So that puts additional strain naturally on the motor when it's trying to drive it out. And that's where the hum is. Once you get out to about half or further, it'll start humming a little bit after it's completed its motion. It can still go a lot further. The motor's certainly got more than enough power, but we do have a little bit of hum from it. Okay. So this guy was, the sides here were widened. Swing it around a little bit to support the larger motor there. Remember how it had that plastic case? One of our concerns earlier was that when he came all the way back and he started turning, from side to side, he'd get the plastic case would get caught in the gears. So the easier solution is not have the plastic case. Especially when we had Rob Rogowski involved, he was going to be creating his own skin and shell for it anyway. So we'll do that as a team. Somebody will, as we get a little further. So right now, all the wires are just kind of dangling, and before they were kind of taped to the outside of that plastic shell. So, so the good things that were done, we got the more powerful motors. This guy rarely hums now on the nod, picking up the head. But after chatting with Dave, I'm recognizing it's a proximity hum instead of a understrain hum, and going to wear out the motor. Yeah. So I'm a lot less concerned. But I'd still like there to be no hum because, we got a show to put on. We got manual control with sliders and acceleration on the front panel of the software. we've got a burn-in sequence, and we got a joystick. Here's the what I call nod, head moving forward and back. Okay. Tilt is the head moving side to side. Okay. What I call neck is actually, bending down. Okay, and that part will go a lot further. I just didn't think that we needed to take it further. So to limit the hum, I've just taken it that far. And you probably heard the hum. It's minor at that point. All right. And then we've got turn, as, turns his head around to see other angles. Okay, now all of that is with what I call medium acceleration. If we go back to the demo last meeting, a month ago, we had 3 motions. Now we have all 5. And you notice how fast and jerky it's moving. Okay, I'll let it finish the cycle. And then I'll start turning the acceleration down. I leave the jaw at full acceleration, but notice how much smoother the actions are now and how much less shake you have. And we have a lot more control than that. Okay, but this is a sequence that I call burn in, and at some point I'm going to let it run for a couple hours.
So you haven't done that yet?
No. I've let it run for about an hour, but not multiple hours straight.
What were your observations running it for an hour?
Well, that was before
before it was beefed up?
Before the beef up and before the acceleration change. It really, after a while you just think this thing is going to shake apart. Now, obviously it didn't, okay? But would it after 20 hours, 40 hours? I don't really know. Okay, probably not. But it just seemed to be, very fast start, fast stop, and a lot of shake. So, turn that off. Center everything. There's our little hum. Bring that neck up. Then we're ready to do the joystick. So we've got everything on the joystick. All those motions that you saw. On the y-axis, we've got the head nod. Okay. On the x-axis, we got the tilt. He's leaning, his head over. All right. We can twist the joystick, and that'll be the turn. Okay. We can do the jaw with one button to take it half open. A different button takes it all the way open. And then we've got point of view on the joystick is been pre-programmed with a couple of settings for the neck extension.
Was that on Funniest Home Videos or something where they had the Stevie Wonder bird?
Oh yeah, it was like a cockatiel, I think. Stevie Wonder.
Like the owner had him trained. He's like, do Stevie Wonder.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
I think the sync is going to take us longer to work out, just because there might be delays sending it to the machine, this machine receiving it, processing it or whatever.
Like, do we have to worry about catch up and stuff?
Right. Probably just mustard and relish. But no, I don't think it's going to be a big issue. When a sync signal's received, it can skip ahead or skip back. Right, yeah. You know what I mean? Basically pause until it gets, until it's supposed to be at that point. The problem gets to be, is that really the true signal that I wanted to receive right now?
Yeah.
Okay? So, but getting a playback mode and letting it play back is, one step. Because if it does it reliably, the same speed every time, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And, then if the player does the same thing, then we're in pretty good shape. Now, have you guys considered, are you even looking at putting the video on a PC? Or are you going to leave that Mac or, controlled or what?
No, we need to still determine that for Miracle.
Okay.
So for this, we're not going to have to worry about video, but we
right.
will do audio and I'm assuming DMX,
Mm-hmm. There might be some environmental video that plays during this one part in the show where sort of the sky takes precedence and you have stars, and we might do some sort of abstract effect. So there might still be video. So we'll see, but certainly not character
and not 3D. And Yeah.
No, nothing like that. It'll just be ambient video, just supporting the story.
So it's probably the same kind of thing where we basically want to solve it so that we can do video, audio, DMX, any relay closures or anything like that for both this and Miracle.
Right. Well, and that's why I'm so far, I don't want to say ahead, but that's why we're here right now, is because leveraged everything from Miracle.
Sure. Yeah.
So. And because John Square built the creature.